Oh yeah, yeah. Yo, all right, man. So we live, man. How you feeling, man?
Oh man, I'm good, man. Good, getting ready for tomorrow, man.
Hey, man. Hey, happy Thanksgiving to you, man. Early Thanksgiving to you, my brother. You know what I mean? Tell the people who you are. Give them a little backdrop on you before we get started
Uh,
in this live podcast, man.
yeah, I'm Coach Marcus. I'm coaching with Lee Green Basketball AAU. Um, Also coaching with we partner with Sci Fair, so coaching seventh grade EYBL boys. Got eighth grade girls, and we touch all the kids, but that's primarily who I deal with throughout the years.
Man, so look, man, I appreciate you joining us on this show right here, man. Um, I'm excited about this upcoming basketball season. Before we dive into the hot topics, I'm excited about this upcoming high school basketball season. Right, a lot of young talent coming up in the area, in the DFW, North Texas area. Um, I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to seeing a lot of good talent coming up, man, on the boys and the girls side. Specifically looking at because our kids, I know your daughter went to Guy, my son went to Guy,
Yeah.
my oldest daughter's going to Guy. So I'm really interested in seeing how they going to do based off what they did last year because the girls were really good last year. The boys won state in Division 2. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. What excites you about high school basketball, man?
Man, just the unknown, how, and then just seeing how they translate they summers um coming into the schools, kind of like what you said, seeing who's going to repeat, seeing who's going to try to knock off the ones that top and try to level this thing out. I mean, it's one of them things that in NFL, any given Sunday, with high school basketball, you just never know. And with Texas. Um, it's a lot of next man up, next player up. I will say. So who's ready? Who's ready for their moment? Who's
Right.
ready for their opportunity? So that's kind of what excites me. Who's really getting ready behind the scene.
Like who's gonna be the next kid that's gonna step up to the forefront and elevate themselves. You know what I mean? Like it's always a hidden
Right.
gem. It's always a kid that's been waiting in the background for their opportunity. You know what I mean? I'm looking
Yep.
forward to see who those kids will be on the girls side and who those kids will be on the boys side. You know what I'm saying? Especially in today's era, like you got a lot of opportunity, right? A lot of opportunity for kids
Man.
to play in college. You know what I mean? And NIL at play, but also it's
Yep.
challenging as well because at the let's talk about the transfer portal and kids coming out of high school now trying to get into college.
Hmm.
Scholarships are tough, man, because you college basketball they getting older.
Yeah. Especially man with the new rule on JUCO not taken away from your 4 years. So you're really getting to develop even more coming out of high school if you don't go straight into the 4 year program. So now those high school kids have those JUCO kids to have to compete with. They also have the portal kids they have to compete with. And, so the life expectancy of a college player is a lot longer than it was when you and I came up. So you're talking kids 25, 27,
Right.
even much probably even older sometimes. So kids coming out of high school playing with grown men, so to speak, definitely making it a little tough for them. So that's where they got to really, really hone in on their skill and really be in the gym.
Oh yeah, you got to live this, right? I heard a college coach say this many times. Do you like it? Do you love it? Or do you live it? You know what I'm saying? It's
Live
like
it.
so
Yeah.
when they're recruiting kids, they asking themselves that question: does this kid like it? Do they love it? Do they live it? And I see a lot of kids they like it. Some kids love it. Very few live it. And to me, in this
Right.
day and age where college scholarship is hard to come by. You gotta live this without no shadow of a doubt.
Got
You
to.
know what I'm saying? Because if you don't,
Got to.
you're gonna miss your opportunity. You're gonna miss your chance. Because I see a lot of kids getting opportunity at the high school level because of maybe kids that graduated out, seniors, or kids that got hurt on their
Hmm.
team. And I just don't see a lot of kids maximizing the opportunity. And a lot of that's contributed to the fact that kids don't really live it. You know what I mean? Like the sacrifice,
Right.
putting the time in, and sacrificing to get to where they want. What's your thoughts about that? Where some kids liking it, some love it, but very few live it.
Yeah, man. I echo the same thing. I tell a lot of kids, fans like it. That's why they watch it. Fans love it. That's why they buy tickets. But fans don't live it. That's why they're not in the gym trying to get better. And I also tell them too, when you're an athlete, you have kids that are not athletes that are your friends.
Right.
They're not giving up anything, you know what I'm saying, to get better athletically wise, but you are. You're giving up being a child, having going outside, playing, going to the mall with your friends, doing stuff like that. Because you may have to go get another session in. Because you may need to work on your shooting, you may have had off night, So if they definitely not living it, they're definitely not gonna be ready even for their opportunity, let alone to be the next person to get a scholarship.
Oh, no question. So, with that being said, let's dive into this right here, this topic right here. Money versus patience. Do parents give up too soon?
Most definitely, man. And that's one of the conversations I have, especially as an AAU coach with parents, is you cannot look at the development of the other kids in the program because again, you don't know what those kids are doing outside of the program. As far as how much time that they're putting in. I just think about what we tell our kids at our practices. If you're only doing this hour and a half, this 2 hours that you with us a week, you're definitely not gonna get better. And then when parents start not to see their return on their investment, they're like, well, why am I keep spending money in this program and we're not getting better? Maybe I need to go get a trainer. Maybe I need to go do this. So then they just start throwing money thinking that that's gonna solve the problem and it doesn't.
Right.
They just kind of have to just live. Just they in the right. They might be in a good situation, but they just not patient enough to not have to look at not. They're not patient enough to where they're not looking at the money that they're putting into it.
I will also say this: most don't even know what they're looking for.
Let's start there.
Let's talk about it. Most
Let's
parents
start
don't
there.
know what they're looking for. Right? You said it. Most think
Yeah.
money is going to solve the problem. No, money is just part of the solution. It's not the one thing that's going to solve it. You got to know what you're looking for. You understand? Like money can get you
Yep.
in the room. Money can get you with uh, uh, the right trainer. Money can get you with whatever it may get you in a program and on a team that's talented. But if you don't know what you're looking for in
Right.
terms of development, you'll miss it. And you'll think the money is going to get your kid the development or get them where they need to be. That's so far fetched, man. You know what I'm saying? So what's your thoughts on parents not knowing what they're looking for?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely um, true. I mean, because I just think of my journey starting out with my daughter. I mean, I really didn't know what to look for or where to go. I mean, I knew defense was definitely going to be something that was going to be needed. So I started there. And then as I got more educated into the game and what was needed, then we started seeing out, hey, okay, she need to work on ball handling. Okay, we need to fix her shot. Okay, we need to be able to play on ball defense, play off the ball defense, be able to get to dribble pull up. So it's just finding that program that's gonna educate you and not just take a check from you.
Right.
And that was one of the things that I take my hat off to you, is because when we first came into the fold, that was one of the things because she definitely tried out for 3 teams, and the conversation from you was like, hey, figure out which of those programs really fit your need. It wasn't you wasn't selling us on League Green when you could have, but you said, Figure out which one may fit for you. This one may not. But just understand what it is you're looking for. And if that program has it, then that's the program you need to be in. So,
1000%. Because at the end of the day, I can sell you on something, but it doesn't mean your child is the right fit or our program is the right fit for your child. You understand what I'm saying? And I
yep,
think that's where a lot of problems and frustrations come in regards to the parents on the parent side because they're being sold, but it's not what their child needs. You know what I mean? Like you
yep.
got to really figure out where your child is at, what do they need, and can that program provide what you're looking for? And then that's where we get into the ROI, return on investment.
Hmm.
You have to know what you're looking for. Because if you do not know
Yep.
as a parent, you don't know what you're looking for, you're going to become frustrated because you're going to feel like you're wasting your child's money. Now, or you wasting your money. Now, that being said, it's important for us as a program to make sure we educate the parents about this process, what to look for. You know what I'm saying? Because every kid
Yep.
is at different stages of their development. You know what I mean? Like right now, with my youngest, right, my youngest daughter, she's working on okay, can I handle the ball under pressure? Well, Destiny, she's past that stage. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Jeremiah, he's at another level. You know what I'm saying? So you're the kids are going to be at different levels, but you have to know what you're looking for. Because if you don't know what you're looking for as a parent, you're going to miss the opportunity, and then it becomes a waste of investment. Would you agree?
Yep. I definitely agree. I mean, I'm right there with you. My daughter graduated early this year from high school. Now, my son coming up the hill. And one of the things that, I'm talking to him about and preaching to him is you got to own your size. It's not just the tall ones, not just the big ones. It's also to the short ones. You got to own your size. And so the thing I'm telling him is to be able to take care of the ball. We working on not just trying to pass over the top of everybody. Well, you're not going to be able to do that because by the time you get ready to release the ball, their hand wingspan is there. So now, how do you get that pass and things like that? So um, if you're not bringing that to me as that's going to help him, then you're not the fit for me. Because right now we just need to learn how to take care of the ball. I don't really need him to be a 3-point shooter because being a 3-point shooter and still can't take care of the ball, we not fixing our problem.
So let's talk
And
about
he's in the
that right
seventh
there.
grade. So,
So let's talk about. I don't mean to
yeah,
cut you off, but let's talk about that right there. So you said that where he's at now, he needs in his development, he needs to work on handling the ball. Well, knowing that, right? It's our
yeah,
job as a program to put him in a situation so he get exposed to handling the ball. So that means there's going to be times that he's going to lose the ball. There's going to be times
yeah.
that he's going to take care of the ball. But can the parent, the kid, and the program live with the
Excuse me.
mistakes that the kid is, as he's going through that process? And I think that's where
Hmm.
parents get frustrated as well. And this is why I believe, and this was going to be my next question to you. Um, how important is the role that of the parent, right? So I'm gonna kind of dive into that right now. So if we, the parent in the program, agree that he needs to be in a situation where he handles the ball. Well, we both have to be in agreement to allow him to work through those mistakes because that's the
Yeah,
learning curve, right? I
yeah.
feel that most parents quit too soon because they don't like the fact that their child is making mistakes, throwing the ball all over the place, getting the ball taken from them. So they feel embarrassed instead of sitting back and saying, "No, I love this because I want to see my child get exposed." What's your thoughts to that about kids being exposed and parents not taking it the right way, taking it the negative way, and then parents end up quitting too soon, jumping ship, and going somewhere else?
Well, yeah. I mean, no parent wants to look at their kid and say, "Oh, my kid's not good," or "My kid's unable to do X, Y, and Z." That's why they pull a lot is because they're not being honest first with themselves about where their kid is at in their development, and two, they're not being honest with their kid. Hey, this is what you need to work on if this is what you truly want to do.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I told my daughter, and I told my son is like, you can't rob me of being a parent. We can't go out here and be up early on the weekends, go to all these practices, all these training, and then you come to the game and only score 2 points. Now, I'm okay with you scoring 2 points. No, I'm gonna say I'm not looking for you to go out and be the leading scorer. But what
Right.
I'm saying is, if I know that you can give me more and you're not, then as a parent, I can't get happy or celebrate the fact that you scored 2 points. Now, on the flip side of that, if we weren't getting up early, we weren't going out to all these trainings and doing all this stuff, and I wasn't investing all this money, and you scored 2 points, man, we on our way to go get ice cream. I'm gonna celebrate the fact you got 2 points. Because I can just be a parent at that point.
Right.
But that's where a lot of parents and kids fall short is because of the honesty of where they're trying to go and what they're trying to do. If you ask every kid is gonna say, I want to get to the league. Okay. What are you doing to say you want to get to the league?
Right.
If you ask every parent, is your kid good? Yeah, my kid good. My kid can score. My kid can, okay. Then you start asking more detailed questions and they don't have answers. And then it looks at you as you're breaking their kid down when you're actually just trying to see where they're at. So it just goes back to the parents not knowing what they're looking for, because you got to pull that parent role off when you're talking about sports. That's the hardest thing for a parent to do is not be a parent in those situations. To your point, trying to come save them because they had turned the ball over 20 times in one quarter. They had shot the ball over the basket, and it's okay. No, it's not okay. It's not. It's not okay to turn the ball over 20 times. It's not okay to shoot the ball over the basket. Like, let's go fix that.
And that's getting in the gym. So you touched
Yeah.
on something. You touched on something. In order to get the best out of a kid, this is what I believe. You have to raise the floor as a parent, because we're talking about the parent's role.
Hmm.
It's the parent's
Yep.
job to raise the floor. You did it, I did it, many other parents have done it with their kids. And the ones who have raised the floor with their kids have seen results at some point. Now, it may not have ended in a college scholarship, but when they was in high school, you've seen the improvement. Where parents go wrong, they stop holding up the floor, they lower it. So when you lower the
Yeah.
floor, then the kid feel like, cool, I can just do whatever I want. I go to the gym whenever I feel like it. If I don't feel like going to the gym, I ain't go. So when you lower the floor, what you're really doing as a parent, you're lowering the results and you're lowering their
Yeah.
child's expectations. What's your thoughts to that?
Most definitely. I'll just give you this the latest this morning. Me and my son was at the gym, got up about 450 shots, and a couple of them shots went in. And I'm like, that ain't just because it went in, your feet was wrong. You didn't get into your turn. You got your turn dribble, you didn't get into your drop, you didn't bring your back leg forward. Like, we talking details. I'm not giving you fool's gold. Just because you made the shot, that's not we're looking for consistency.
Right,
So to your point is I could just say, you know what, you just made five in a row. That's good. But did you make five in a row with the right detail? He didn't, so we kept at it, you know. And that's just me being honest with my son. It's not me just not wanting to celebrate the wins. Of course, as a father, I want to always celebrate my son, but I don't want to celebrate him to the point to where he's going to continue to make mistakes and not be consistent. That's what we're working on. We're working on consistency. So I think a lot of parents they'll walk away from the game and say, "Well, my child scored 8 points. They had four steals and them." Okay, but they also didn't get back. They got beat back door. They didn't have help. They didn't get into the help defense. They wasn't talking. Like, these are all the intangibles that that they miss out on. So it's important to hold a bar and hold a standard and let your kids know that this bar is going to move. This is just a starting point. This is where we start. The next thing that you got to get over is probably going I'm going to raise it, you know.
right. I agree. So here's my next question I want to talk about. What's one skill you see missing in terms of players at the grassroots level? What's one skill you like? You just don't see enough kids being able to master it. I have an idea of what
But
I want to say, but I want to get your thoughts. What is it to you? What's the one skill you feel like is missing at the grassroots level?
I'm going to say ball handling.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by ball handling it's mindset with that as well. A lot of kids are gonna look at Kyrie. They're gonna look at Steph. They're gonna look at everybody that's being able to hit 2 to 3 moves and get out of there as that's ball handling. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking to be able to bring the ball up the floor, get into an offense, get somebody open,
Mhm.
draw two. Just being able to handle the ball and being able to work the offense. That's what I see missing at the grassroots. I mean, I see a lot of kids come in. The first thing they do, they throwing up half court shots.
Yeah.
They throwing shots. They shooting from all the way from the back. They just throwing it. So it's really you're not really getting developed. At that point. So if they learn how to handle the ball first, then stack shooting on top of that, I think we got a whole different era of kids coming up.
Well, that leads to it's a great point you talking about ball handling because I'm seeing at the college level now that my son's playing at the collegiate level. I'm seeing a lot of kids, and these are older kids that's been in college for a while, not take care of the basketball. Right? I'm not just talking our team. I'm talking teams they done played. It's just kids having a hard time taking care of the basketball. So you bring up a good point. Ball handling is a lost art. Can you get into an
Oh
offense?
yeah,
Know how to make good decisions. Now, my one
man.
skill that I would say that's missing is kids competing. That's a skill, bro.
Oh yeah.
Kids don't play hard.
Yeah.
That's all. Kids don't
Well,
play hard.
that too. And to add on that, man, they don't got no blacktop experience.
They don't play hard, bro. They don't compete. My kids
No.
would tell you, in our house, everything's a competition. I'm gonna beat you to the door.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna beat you to the car. You know what I'm saying? I forget where we
Yeah.
was at. Oh, we was leaving Jeremiah's game, right? This is like a week or two ago. And Trinity goes, Dad, you want to race? You want to race to the car? And I'm because the week before we raced and I beat her. We was kind of speed walking. We weren't running. I said, well, I'm gonna speed walk and I'm gonna beat you. So the following week, she like, Dad, you want to race? And I'm like, Nah, I'm good. I wasn't in the mood. I knew I was going to lose. I said, Nah, and she
Right.
kept asking, Let's go there. I said, Nah. Everything in our house is competitive. That's how you teach kids how to
Right.
compete, man. You know what I'm saying? You teach them how
Yeah.
to deal with losing. Are you going to lay down? Or are you going to get back up and compete again? All right, cool. You ain't getting the playing time that you want. Are you going to go fight for it in practice? Or are you going to lay down? To me, the skill that's missing is having a competitive spirit, competing at all times. What's your thoughts to that?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. But again, it's because they looking at the wrong thing. So they don't. If shot ain't falling, if they turning the ball over, like they're not competing.
Right.
Because in their mind, what do I have to compete for? But
Mm-hmm.
what they don't realize is if your shot's not falling, you can't handle the ball. The one thing you can do day in and day out is compete.
That's
That's
right.
one thing you can control. And give that maximum. So yeah, it's not a lot of competition. Man, I'm hearing kids talking about, oh man, we gonna lose because we playing so and so. What? Man, that was never a conversation with us. Like, I don't care who you is. Like, you finna lose. You know that, right? And you finna lose bad.
And that's the
We
mentality
don't care
that you
your
got to
rankings.
have.
Yeah. Man, I used to mind manipulate uh athletes on the track because I knew lane assignments. So I knew if you had a certain lane, then you was pretty fast based on where you was placed at. And
Mm-hmm.
if I wasn't in that lane, if I hadn't turned in a fast time for that meet, I would just gradually walk up to them as they getting their block set and say, "Hey, you got to run that time today," and then I would just walk back to my lane because I wanted you to know, like, you gonna have to get your best today
Yes.
because I'm in here. I don't care what you sent in, you got to run that today.
Yes. But
But again, kids think that's that's them not being nice.
they think it's arrogant or they
Like,
think it's mean. Nah, man, to have
yeah,
a competitive spirit, you gonna talk a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't saying
right,
be disrespectful with your talk, but you
exactly,
gotta have an edge to you, man. You gotta stand up and be like, I'm here today. You gonna have a long night today. It's just what it is. I'm guarding
right.
94 feet and I'm gonna make your life miserable in this game. I don't see that no more. I see kids being passive aggressive, and I just don't see that competitive drive. I see kids when they missing shots, they just jog back, and I'm like, that's not how you earn playing time. You're not gonna get that, and it's like, just I'm just speaking from a coaching perspective now. When I'm trying to challenge kids to go hard, they just look at me like, Coach, I'm giving everything I got. I'm like, nah, you doing it in spurts.
Right.
We need this to be
Yeah.
consistent. Because if this is not consistent, all it takes is a kid to walk into your school and roll into your school and say, I play the same spot as him, and coach, I'm gonna outwork him. And I know he's been here for 2 years, but I'm gonna come and take his spot because he don't work hard enough on a consistent level. That's what I feel that's missing at this level of grassroots, man. And this handout, this me mentality, me, I deserve it. Nah, man,
Yeah.
kids don't get cut no more. That's
No.
we
Yeah.
just put kids on varsity now. Kids don't get cut. We just
You
put kids
just
on varsity, and then if mom come in, dad come in, and complain to you, we just gonna play them. Nah, I'm not doing that. There's a standard. There's a floor that I'm gonna raise. And here's the thing: it's not so much about me being as a coach being controlling. At the end of the day, I need to teach you when you get outside of these walls. In basketball, you
yeah.
can't play no more. I need you to have a competitive drive, man. You understand? What's your thoughts to that, man?
Yeah, no, that definitely. I mean, that's you're right. I mean, if you look at just sports in general, again, growing born in the '80s, raised in the '90s, man, heavyweight boxing, home run knockouts, smash my football, you know, defense. I mean, you getting beat up if you come in the paint. If you look around, we ain't got no heavyweights. We ain't
Nah,
got nobody going for 60 home runs no more.
come on, man.
You ain't got no Ray Lewis's.
Yeah,
You ain't got no Detroit Bad Boys. So they seeing and they modeling that behavior. They modeling the offense of mindset, and this all I gotta do is come here and shoot. Well, when you get a kid to come in there, like a Marcus Smart, that come in and do nothing but what everybody else didn't want to do, and you see he got longevity. Now it's like, okay, that's a skill. Oh, and all he was doing was competing.
yeah. And
That
here's the
was
thing:
it.
it ain't like he didn't have the other skills, shooting, ball handling, dribble, doing all that stuff. He
Right.
had that, right? Um, But he realized when you get to a certain point, when kids are just as talented as you, what makes you stand out, man? It's always gonna come down to your competitive spirit, how hard you compete. Because at the end of
Yep.
the day, coaches want kids that's going to compete and make winning plays. But parents and players feel
Yep.
like, man, now you coach me too hard. Oh man, you expected too much from me. And I'll be like, that's the problem. That's why your kid will always struggle. Because your kid don't
Right.
rise to the standard, bro. And that
The-
starts at home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Here,
Yep.
here's my next question to you, man. Um, that I want to talk about. My child isn't getting playing time. What do I do?
Well, I mean, the number one question is, what are you looking for? What are you looking for from the game of basketball? If you're not looking to go to college, there's nothing you need to do, to be honest with you,
Now,
because
why is
you're
that
just looking
important?
to be on a team.
When you talk about
Because
college, why is
it,
that
it
important?
lets me know because it lets me know as a parent what kind of conversation I need to go have. I don't need to go have this conversation with you so you can go have this conversation with the coach if we're not trying to go anywhere. If you're just trying to have fun and have to get the letterman, then all you gotta do is sit on the bench, get in a couple times, you go get your letterman. But now if you're trying to go somewhere, if you're trying to actually get to the next level, now we look at, okay, so where are we at in our years of high school? Are we in a situation that we can go down if we're on varsity? Are we in a situation that we can move schools if we still have time? Um, and then we got to look first and foremost, are you winning every sprint? Are you beating anybody at practice? Are you trying to take minutes from anybody at practice? If you're not even doing those first threes, everything else I said before that is not even a conversation to have.
That's a fact. But that goes back to kids feeling entitled. That's the entitled.
Yeah.
I deserve this. I've been on the team for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? I deserve playing time.
Right.
Nah, man, that's just nah, bro. I just nah. I would never understand that entitlement. I don't want my kids to feel like they're owed anything. Because when you get out in the real world and that basketball start bouncing, man, you're gonna have to learn how to go work for it and go get it. And I think
Yeah.
me, I believe sports is a great tool to teach those attributes, so our kids can be successful beyond the game of basketball. You know what I mean?
Yep. Sport is just a tool.
Yeah. So, so into that question, if your child, so if you're a parent, talk to the parents out there. Your child is not getting the playing time that you feel like they deserve. You need to question if you need to ask yourself the question: am I raising the floor high enough? If I'm not raising the floor high enough, you can forget about it. Ain't no need to go into the office talk to no coach because you're not raising the floor for your child. Until you learn to raise the floor for your child will always feel entitled and they will never get the results that they want. Because playing time is never just given. No coach. The only coaches
Right.
I see, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, the only coaches I see give out playing time is coaches that have a losing program.
Ooh.
Go look at the programs that's losing. Look at the programs that's losing, and tell me what how they coach. They just giving out playing time. There's no standard. Correct me if I'm
And
wrong. What's your thoughts
and
to
I
that?
guarantee you, and I guarantee you they don't cut kids either.
That's a fact. That's a fact. No standard.
Yeah. We're giving out jerseys, we're giving out time.
And I can assume that they don't hold no standard across the board for everybody. That's why sometimes they win, sometimes they lose. It's highs and lows. No, there's no
Hmm.
consistency. There's no demand from the
Right.
12th man to the number one boy or girl, whoever the best player is. The 12th man, the standard is across the board. I don't care where you at on the talent pool. This is what it is, and I guarantee you, if the team is losing, I guarantee you the coach is not setting the floor high enough. They can just do whatever they want.
Oh, that's fact. Yeah, and when my kids know, they knew the standard was you had two whistles to go play your heart out. Because in two whistles, something was going to happen to where the person you was guarding probably went out. So now you got to change the way you play, or you was probably the one that's coming out. So I need you to give maximum effort. That's our standard. We not looking for 30 minutes. We look for two whistles, and if that's what we get that. And honestly, my daughter didn't get that. At guard, and we didn't go. I didn't go beat down the coach's door. I said, hey man. We're in a situation. Are we allowed to go play a JV? We are cool. Hey, this is what we finna go do. We finna go down there. Hey, coach, all we need is 10 minutes. 10 minutes a game. We just don't need to be rusty coming into this her senior summer. That's it.
Right.
So again, it's about staying focused on what it is that we were looking. We were looking to try to get to college. So I just need her to be able to get some film, put together some clips, and send off. I mean, that's it. We out of here in 4 years.
Nah, no doubt. Nah, I'm,
So
I'm with you on that.
yeah.
What's your thoughts on this question? Mental toughness, can it be taught?
Ooh.
If you're a parent out there because there's parents out there that have this question, my child ain't tough enough. Can you teach it? Is that something that you could teach toughness?
You can instill it so in a certain way that you're teaching it, but that's one of them things that you can teach it, but if they don't want to use it, then they won't. So
So are you
it's a
saying?
it's a it's a loaded question.
So
Go ahead.
are you saying that that person, so that kid has to be willing to receive that? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Embrace it.
Yeah, yeah, because you got to remember the age of the person that is teaching the mental toughness, and then remember the age of the person who's receiving the lesson.
Mm,
A lot of times parents are teaching it from a 30-year-old, 40-year-old, 50-year-old mindset and trying to
right.
give that to a 12 to 16-year-old kid. Well, yeah, we gonna be fearless. We not gonna have, but again, we live that life.
Right.
These kids are still trying to understand and try to figure out. and depending on what type of lifestyle we've provided for them, and instilled in them, is if they're gonna feel like they gotta fight.
Nah, that's correct. Because you can still provide a good lifestyle for your child, but at the same time present opportunities for them to develop toughness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I believe it could be taught to a certain degree by you putting them in situations where they have to ask themselves the question: Is this something I really want, or is this something I'm just gonna lay back and say, "Nah, you got it." You know what I'm saying? Because you have kids
Right.
that would lay down. A kid moves in, and you've been on varsity, you've been starting. A kid move in, and you see how hard that kid goes, and you be like, "Nah, this ain't what I want." So to me, that's toughness. Nah, you walk in there, I'm gonna challenge you. We're gonna fight for
Right.
the spot. Ain't no lay down. To me, that's mental toughness. What's your thoughts?
Yeah. That's where I say that a kid has to be willing to, right? Because to that example, I got to be willing to get pushed. I got to be willing to go at that speed. I got to be willing to go at that energy.
Right,
If I haven't built myself or trained myself to get to that level, then I'm gonna get burnt out. And I'm just like, you know what, you got it. I'm gonna surrender. You won.
right.
Because I'm not equipped to go at that speed every day.
Yeah, my son is faced with that challenge right now, being the only freshman on a college team full of seniors, maybe two, three under, juniors and sophomores, grad transfers. So, son, what are you going to do? You going to lay down? And I'm not at the practices. I'm not there. But my thing
Right.
is, everything that me and his mom instilled in him, that mental toughness, now it's going to show up. Because when your back is against the wall, when the eyes are stacked
Hmm.
against you, now we about to find out what we talked about earlier. Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you live it? We're about to find that out. And that's part of being tough. Like being willing to
Yeah.
pick yourself back up and fight. I just don't see kids fight no more. It gets hard. It gets challenging. Like all these kids say, and some parents say, I want to be on an elite team. If I put you on a team that's full of dogs and your child's a puppy,
Yeah.
but you saying you want to be on the elite team, your child ain't gonna survive. And the first thing you're gonna say as a parent, you're gonna blame the program. It ain't the program. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Your kid just ain't ready for
That's the first thing I want to look at.
it.
Yeah, that's the first thing I want to look at the program. Look at the tournaments we in. We not like you got to understand. Sometimes the tournaments that you in are based on the development that you need,
Right.
and that's what parents aren't realizing. But yeah, I mean that to your point. Yeah, that once you instill that in them, it's gonna show up when you're not around
Yeah.
because now you've been taught to be a fighter. You've been taught not to give up. Like my kids understand and know that the word can't is not used in your vocabulary. They can say I'm not able to. I haven't tried that yet, but just saying can't, and that's only because of a mental state of mind.
Right.
Nothing other than that. I don't want my kids to ever get in the mindset of something that they're not capable of doing. Like try it. You don't know. You don't know what you can do.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with you, man. I just feel, man, in this day and age of grassroots basketball, man, I feel like we're taking a step backwards in terms of players' um, development, um, players' commitment level, also parents' commitment level. I feel like what we as parents are expecting for our child is the opposite of actually what we hold our child to. Then I see where
Hmm.
a kid says they want to go, the work they putting in does not match up. So I just feel overall, man,
Right.
we're going backwards. Uh, I feel like there's grander opportunity out here than 10 years ago for kids. But I just feel
Oh
like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I just feel like, but I just feel like, man, kids don't have the same commitment level. I don't feel parents have the same commitment level. And I ain't just talking financially, right? Because we can invest as parents, but at the same time, that don't stop us from, or exempt us from holding our kids to a high standard. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
Right.
gonna invest this, but I'm also on the back end. No, I gotta hold you to it. I could put you in this elite program, you know what I'm saying? But on the back end, I'm not just dependent on the program to elevate you. On the back end at home, I'm elevating you. I'm doing my part as a parent.
Right.
And then if the
Yep.
program do their part, and then me the parent do my part, then it's a perfect marriage. And if our kid do their part, hey man, you can't go wrong. Your kid's gonna go up.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
Yep. Three
But
levels of commitment.
when you don't have all three of them all connected, the parent, the kid, and the program all on the same page, you forget about it. It don't matter what the program do. The program could be the greatest thing since sliced bread, but if the parent ain't committed and the kid ain't committed to putting in the work, or if the kid is committed, the parent is committed, and the program's not, don't matter. It's not gonna work.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Not gonna work.
Yeah, it would never
Yeah, because
work.
the program just here winning games.
One
Right.
hundred percent. I got this question um last week. A parent said, and this happens a lot. Uh, their kid is averaging, 20 points a game. They're scoring like 25 points here, 28 points there, and they sitting in the stands amongst other parents, and they're hearing a parent or parents say every time their kid gets the ball, parents saying, "Pass it, pass it, pass it," and they said, I'm laughing because I went through this, right? Um,
Right.
then they said another parent, when their child drove to the basket and their kid missed a shot, uh, the parent was like, "Don't force it, don't force it. You should have passed it." You know, so the parent came to me asking me how should they handle it, and I told them, I said, "Look, first I would go to the coach and put it out there and say, look, here's the situation. Give the So that gives the coach the opportunity to address it,
Opportunity to go.
right?
Right.
Before I go to address it. Then I said if the coach don't address it, if the coach don't put out an email, talking about it, then I would just go approach the parent and be like, look, I don't like the fact that every time my kid gets the ball, you yelling pass it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or when my kid drives to the basket, um, you saying you got negative feedback. Then it's the other thing that he said. One of the parents won't even speak to him no more. I said, hold on, why? Oh, because my kid is averaging this and doing this. I said, oh wow. I wasn't surprised because it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, is parents feeling a sense of entitlement. It's like we don't know how to celebrate other kids' success if it's not our kids. What are
Yeah.
your thoughts to that?
I mean, yeah. I mean, we listen, man. I'm uplifting um all the kids. I mean, I guess coach. I try not to coach my son's team as much as possible. Um, but sometimes I step in and man, I'm hooping and hollering with the other kid on the bench, like he was mine. Like it's not you can't just be all in on your kid on a team sport. Like you gotta be, because you gotta realize your kid needs them other kids. And if they don't want to play with them, like then that not only impacts the team, that impacts your kid too, because now they're not making the right read. Now they're not making the right decisions. And just not talking to a parent because of a kid. Like I mean, we're still talking about 15, 16, under 17-year-old kids. Like, how are you not wanting to talk to a but and you gotta realize that's gonna spill over into your kid
It already has.
because they don't know how to coexist. Yeah.
We can assume it already has because you're having conversation. If you feeling like that, you feeling comfortable enough to say that during the game, my man, you saying that
Game,
to your
are you
child
saying
in
on
the
the way
car,
home?
bro. I ain't tripping. I
On the
ain't
way
no
home,
dummy.
1000%.
Yeah, you saying that,
Yeah, you
hey
saying that
man,
all the way home.
if they scoring 15, why ain't you scoring 15? If they shoot 20, why ain't you shoot? So now it becomes a competition amongst the teammates, and that's how you lose, bro.
Right.
My whole thing is if you ain't willing to put in the same level of work as that kid, if your child is not willing to do that, then what are you complaining for? and we winning, we
Right.
you tripping. You know what I'm saying? But I see this a lot. I see it in AAU. I see it at the high school level, and it's like parents, they just I don't know. I think a lot of times they see a kid's talent and they wish their child had that talent. And but my thing is everybody's going to be good at something. Let's just celebrate
Oh
that's what
yeah,
they're good at.
man. I used to say that about Destiny, about your oldest daughter, with my daughter. I'm like, bro, Destiny is not just walking around just specialer than everybody. Destiny is putting in the work to make her special than everybody. She had the same 24 hours. She had the same 7 day a week. She just did more with hers. That's all it is. So y'all mad and you not nah. Well, you can't be. She put the work in. So why not go do it? She trusted the process. She trusted. And I told my daughter, I said, you could have this similar success if you go put in that type of effort. It's up to you.
Uh,
So you can't get mad at your kids because they and then you wanna and then you try to um compare. Like I'm not comparing. I'm just saying this is what she's doing. This is what she had success with. You can go do have similar success if you put in similar levels of work ethic.
that's
But if
true.
you're not putting that in, then there's nothing for us to talk about.
I agree. Yeah, no, I agree
Yeah,
100%.
nah, yeah, yeah. They, man, they, it's, I just, it's crazy, man. But then you try to, I learned. Here's what I learned as a coach and as a parent in the sideline. When you hear those conversations, that is not your invitation to get involved because you getting ready to go nowhere with this conversation
Right.
other than be frustrated, man.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
agree with
I
you.
mean, yeah, man. I mean, I just again, and even like looking at Jeremiah, man. I look at Jeremiah. Jeremiah game is, to me, it seems very simple. He is downhill. He's getting to it aggressive. He gonna get to it, save energy because he gonna turn around and guard.
That's right.
Like I'm gonna make the right read. I'm doing that. That's what I'm saying. All these kids is out here just trying to be hocus pocus and all that. You're not using too much energy, and now you can't play defense, and you ain't even scoring at a high clip. Then you get to the free throw line, you can't even get the free throws.
Oh yeah, that's when your
Like,
efficiency goes down.
yeah, because that's why I had my when we well, I forgot who they was playing. Um, but Jeremiah he brought the ball out. This is when he got in late in the second half. I think it may have been like 3 minutes left or something, and he was coming down, and he had the ball, and then the trap was coming, and he put that ball in that pocket, pulled back. The trap got out of there, and I'm looking at myself. I'm saying, "Do you see how simple he just made that? Do you see he didn't over dribble? Like he
Right.
just made the right decision, the right read."
Yeah.
But a lot of kids in that situation, they're gonna pick their dribble up or they're gonna dribble too much.
Too much.
One of the two things they're gonna do.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they're gonna do what they see on TV or YouTube. Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah.
Not about it.
Right.
It's
Oh
something
man.
about keeping the game simple and become efficient. I believe that's not a thing that we point out anymore. Being efficient as a player. Yeah, you just go shoot 25
No.
shots and only make five. Man, that's bad basketball. You can have the ball in your hand 70% of the time, and you averaging 5 turnovers and only having one assist. Like that's bad basketball. You know what I mean? Like to me, it's
Right.
just like we be highlighting the stupid stuff, man, and then we wonder why kids don't get to where they want to get to. Well, they averaged 30, but they took 25 shots to average 30. So you telling me a college coach
Right.
is going to take you shooting 25 shots and make it seven? Nah, bro. We rather you go somewhere else. Okay, at this level, it don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be
Right.
okay with that because at the end of the day, it's about winning. What are you doing to contribute to winning? And that's another
Winning.
piece that's being lost and not talked about enough. And I feel when parents understand raising the floor and holding their kid to a certain standard, that's going to bring much more results. Then they'll start doing it. I just think right now, parents don't. They want their kid to feel good. They don't want their kid
Yeah.
to not struggle.
1000%.
That's
Man, listen, it's been many a times we've been in that gym and them days and cried. It's been
right,
many times been in that gym, jetted and cried. Hey, quit.
right.
Hey, just quit. Pack it up. We can go home.
Yeah,
My job is to make you quit. If
yeah.
I can get you to quit, you never want to play this game.
And by you doing that, you're gonna do it before another coach does it. So it's either you're gonna push
Yep.
through it now, because if you don't push through it with me as your parent, then you're not gonna push through with somebody that you don't even know like that. That's your coach.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's gonna challenge you
Hey,
or put
hey,
or put you in situations where it's not favorable. You gonna tap out. You know what I'm saying? It's
right.
nothing in this thing, man. It's nothing easy, man. It's nothing easy. You gotta be willing to work for it. You gotta be willing to compete for it, man. But hey, man, I think we gave the parents a lot of good insight on today's
Oh yeah.
podcast, man. Anything you want to leave with the parents before we close this thing up?
Man, just trust the process. Um, don't pull the trigger too soon. Um, and the only way that you can trust the process and not pull the trigger too soon is having a plan before you start.
Mm,
If you have a plan, you'll always get to where you need to get to.
that's a fact. Hey, say that again for the people in the back. A man without a plan
Hey,
is a man that's not
plan.
prepared, brother. Trust and believe.
That's it.
You got to have a plan. You
That's
don't have
it.
a plan, it's just you just shooting in the dark. And we know what happens when you shoot in the dark. You're gonna miss your target 99.9% of the time. You may
Every
get
time.
one lucky one. When you aiming in the dark,
Man,
forget about it. You ain't hitting nothing. You know what I'm saying? But
nothing.
nah, that's a good way to close this thing out, man. Have a plan. Parents have a plan, and when you have a plan, you're gonna get to your destination quicker and sooner than what you really realize. So, man, I want to thank you again for jumping on tonight's podcast, man. We're gonna do this again. Happy Thanksgiving to you
Oh
and
yeah.
your family, my man, and stay blessed and stay up, my brother.
Same to you. Appreciate you.
All right, my man. Peace and blessings.
All right.